Of course, the world decided that they wanted to start tweaking and blow up when it was my turn to be an adult, bro. Like, y'all couldn't wait until I hit like my 30s or some shit like that, where I had some time to really get into things. Y'all want to start doing this shit now? This shit unfair, bro.
This might be the worst time to be an adult. Mind you, the job market sucks. It truly does. Imagine graduating school and not being able to find a job. Imagine going back to school, getting your master's, and still not being able to find a job. Imagine having a job right now, and you have to worry about your job getting replaced by AI. And mind you, inflation is through the roof. $100,000 is like $50K nowadays. I mean, this is like truly the hardest time to be an adult. And on top of that, you'll just hop on social media and see people living their best lives and see that other people your age are rich, got so much money, they don't know what the fuck to do with it. It's just crazy times. Like, the wealth gap is so crazy right now.
Yeah, the wealth gap is wide, ain't it? But this is the thing. The people that you see online, either they're faking that lifestyle, they're not really living like that, or two, they didn't go to college more than likely. If they did, they might have dropped out. I just seen an article. It was a dude who dropped out of college, and he makes $700,000 a year making faceless YouTube channels. You got to understand, these people are not taking a conventional route. They took what was deemed as the risky route, or the route that's not secure. They didn't chase security, right? No risk, no reward. They getting the reward now. You got to think about it too. People that went to college, they don't have the experience while everybody else was building something for the last 3-4 years or whatever, however long it was. It could have been longer, it could have been shorter. The thing was, they were building something. Now the people that just got out of college, they have to do the same thing. Now they have to build their portfolio. They have to build their network. They have to build something. And it's hard to do when the job market is cooked. So now let's say you scrap that idea. Now you start fresh. You got to get that expertise. You got to get that skill in the field that you want to go into. It's going to take time for you to figure out what type of field you want to go into for real, right? It's going to take some time for you to unlearn the lies that you were told. It's going to take you some time to master that skill. So now you 3, 4, 5 years behind that person. So you can't even compare it to the age because you're behind in skill. People took a chance on themselves most times. That's why they winning right now in life. They also had to go through a lot of time of it not working, trying a bunch of things, losing a lot of money too. Those are the things you're going to have to go through.
We need the parents of 20-something-year-olds to understand that most of us are trying our best. We're doing and did the things that y'all told us we needed to do to get to where we wanted to go. And this shit just isn't working. Particularly if you're 24, 25 to 29. Hell, I'll even go up into the 30s, the mid-30s. Because the shit that y'all promised us was not there when we got there. When we were kids, it was always go to school, go to college, graduate college, get a good job, work 40 hours a week, save up, buy a house, do all these things. What the fuck can we do with the systems that y'all and your parents, so our parents and our grandparents, with the shit that y'all did, the things that y'all voted for, the things that y'all allowed to happen? What is this generation of people supposed to do other than survive? You've got an entire generation of people in survival mode. And I know everyone's going to think that I'm talking about money, but it doesn't always look like money to be in survival mode. You can be in survival mode politically when your human and civil rights are under attack every day, multiple times a day. You absolutely can be in survival mode financially. Golly, I have a master's degree. I went straight through. I have a master's degree and a license, a professional license, doing something that I love, and it's barely cutting it. I did, by all intents and purposes, I did the things that you all, the previous generations, Gen X and the baby boomers, I did the things that you told us to do. We did the things that you told us to do. And we're still in survival mode.
Now listen. The act of doing the things that they told you to do, you didn't do them all, because guess what? And look, I vouch for all of the younger generations. I vouch for the millennials and all of that, right? Because I know how hard it is. I know it's different than it was back then, right? But the thing is, I think where people go wrong is they expect instant gratification. They expect the result to come right away. Those Gen X and baby boomers, guess what they did? When they told you to do these things, guess what they did? They stayed down for 20, 30 years in survival mode. Some of them still in survival mode, or a lot of them got out of survival mode in their late 30s, 40s, 50s. As a man, you really don't enter your prime until you like 50. I think it's like 50, right? So the thing is, people expect results right away. And that's not how it works. That's not realistic. No matter which path you take. If you start a business today, most businesses fail within the first 5 years, or they don't see profit until after the 5th year. They got to stay down. If he ain't even talking about staying down for 5 years, let alone longer than that, right, then he shouldn't even be speaking on doing the things that we're told, because yes, it's harder to do those things. It's harder to survive off of one income. You can't do that no more. But the thing is, they stay down. Even if you start something for yourself, if you're a business owner, those business owners work hard day in and day out, committed to the process until it works. It has to work, or it has to work through all the failures and trials. That's where everybody seems to go wrong. And I'm going to talk about it because ain't nobody talking about it. I don't know what type of parents he had, but my people was always in survival mode up until they weren't. You know what I mean? It takes time. It takes years. It don't come right away. Nobody that got successful got it right away. With the internet and things like that, trading and stuff like that, being a content creator, yeah, you can get results quicker, but still, it takes years. The people we see that came up right now that you see on the internet flexing, they stayed down and they were in the trenches in COVID. It took them 6 years, a lot of them. 5, 6 years. Some people a little shorter, 3 years. But it still took them time. And a lot of money being lost. A lot of time being lost. A lot of sleepless nights. I'm going to talk about it.
So all these conversations that I feel like a lot of us have with our parents about like, oh, you're not doing enough, or you're just lazy, or you're complacent, or this and that and the third, I think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. And there's often times where I have to bite my tongue either to, well, my family knows not to go there with me anymore. No, I'm saying all this to say, like, there's a lot of us out here who actually are trying. Not to mention the job market is completely fucked right now. So like, the job market is so bad, you can't even really get a part-time job doing something else, especially if you have a certain number of qualifications. You either too overqualified for some of these jobs, or you don't have enough experience and they're not trying to give the experience. I had a conversation about that with somebody else today. These jobs asking for 4 or 5 plus years of experience, but don't nobody for an entry-level position, but don't nobody want to give nobody entry-level experience. That doesn't make any sense to me. So no, I don't think this generation is inherently lazy or entitled. Actually, I do not. I think that the younger people in this generation see the older people in this generation doing the things that we were told to do and still not getting where we want to go. And that collectively, it does a number on you. Actually, it does a number on you. And all of us, I feel like, have just been figuring shit out for the last 6 years. And you're not crazy. You're not lazy. You're not complacent. You are actually feeling the effects of systems operating against you.
Now, there we go. Systems that are operating against you. Guess what? They always been operating against our people. Have they not? We learned about history in school. Yeah, we know they lied. Yeah, we know they changed things. But some of it was true. And the part that was true, the system's always been working against us. That's nothing different. We always have to figure something out. No, I don't think this current generation is lazy. I don't think that they're entitled. I don't think none of that. But if somebody says you're not doing enough, you got to take a step back and look at it and not feel emotional about it. Not feel like they're attacking you. You got to think about it. If you're not able to get by, if you're working but you just don't make enough, then you're not doing enough. Because guess what? There's something called inflation. There's something called hyperinflation coming. And you have to have more than one income. You have to do more. Think about it. A business owner is always looking to grow. They might have 7 streams of income. You know, they say the average millionaire has 7 of them, right? He doesn't say, well, I'm doing one thing, this is enough. No, he says, this ain't enough. I got to do more. People like to get mad instead of looking at it. You know what? It is hard out here, so I got to do more. I'm not doing enough. If so, then I wouldn't be having these same conversations. I wouldn't be saying this online. Me, myself, too. I'm always looking to do new things. I do YouTube. I trade futures, Forex, okay? I'm getting into developing software because guess what? I'm like, this ain't enough. Getting back into marketing, right? Because guess what? This ain't enough. Building digital products and physical products because guess what? This ain't enough. I ain't doing enough. I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but I'm doing shorts now. Thinking about starting more channels because guess what? This ain't enough. Let me start another one. Instead of feeling attacked, take a step back. Do some self-reflection. Listen to the message. That's what it takes. Listen to the message. Think about it first, though, before you apply it. You know what? This person is right. Let me let my ego go, my pride, and let me listen to what they're saying. And let me think about it, right? Let me see if this makes any sense. You know what? They are right. I got to do more. Everybody got to do more right now. The people that were making good money back then, it's not good money no more. So now guess what? They got to do more. They got to pick up another shift. They got to pick up a side hustle. They got to do some DoorDash. They got to do some Uber. These are the times we are living in. But people don't want to be honest with themselves.
So let me get this straight. I'm born in 2000. Boom, 9/11 happens. I'm born into unprecedented times. Okay. 2008 comes. Housing crisis. Unprecedented times. Okay. 2016 comes around. I find out the world's still just as racist, and then we elect a fucked up president. More unprecedented times. Okay. I make it out of high school without managing to get shot because apparently they want guns more than they want children alive. All right, cool. I'm 18. I graduated. Rent is higher than ever. Jobs pay lower than ever. Boom, COVID happened. More unprecedented times. Police brutality happens, and I learned that this country that keeps spewing about freedom of speech and your right to protest finds out they don't want you protesting. More unprecedented times. Barely making it out of a pandemic with the skin on my back. We let a fucked up president back into the White House, and he fucks the country more than ever before. I still power through it because you can't stop in the business of a country. Nope, can't do it. Now I'm less than a year from turning 26, and I learned that you niggas are trying to raise the health insurance up 175%, and then come to find out, not too many people think that everyone should have access to free food. It just doesn't stop.
We are living in one of the worst times ever to be a young adult. It seems like everyone's depressed. A large majority of people are unemployed, and because of that, they're living with their parents. And by the way, this isn't even me shaming these people. I mean, this is more or less my situation. But the problem is, people who are honest and hardworking, that did all the right things, that went to school, got internships, graduated, are still falling into this category. So if you actually try, you're not guaranteed a successful life. We were lied to about the American dream. I mean, that's just the facts. Is it technically still possible? Yeah, but the percentage of people that are able to achieve it is shrinking as the days go on and as the generations pass. You know, you can't blame these people for being depressed either, because what happens is, if you can't get a job, you're stressing about money constantly. You're stressing about money constantly. It doesn't end. And you almost never had a fair shot, in the sense that, as I was alluding to earlier, if you actually did every right thing and you just try to save up, if you worked while you were in school and you were just really smart about how you use your money, you still are probably paying off college debt. You still have bills that are piling up, and you didn't, in this job market, it's becoming increasingly difficult to land a job. And then if you do land a job, for most people, it's a desperate, scraping at the bottom of the barrel type of job where you're not doing what you want, and or how much you're getting paid is not really equivalent to the value that you can provide. So traditional adult milestones, they feel delayed almost indefinitely, right? Like moving out can provide. So traditional adult milestones, they feel delayed almost indefinitely, right? Like moving out, stable careers, having relationships, buying a home. I mean, you got a better chance at getting a home on a Mr. Beast challenge than than just being able to afford it. And I think what's interesting is that since I've been able to understand the importance of money, and since it's been something that I've worried about really like late middle school, early high school, inflation has always been around, right? Things have literally only been going up in prices. The cost of living, especially if you live in a major city, which sucks because if you get a job, the chances are that's in a major city. And so then your cost of living is going up. And once again, you're kind of pinned in this corner where you're desperate and you're clawing at anything you can get to survive. And here's what sucks. So I'm 22 years old. I graduated college this week. And obviously a lot of my peers that I grew up with, I know are doing the same. And I also know a lot of older people from where I grew up in, meaning like, you know, their mid to later 20s, just from my hometown. And all these people normally fit into one of these type of categories. Either what I'm talking about in this video, where you're unemployed, you're living with your parents. Another really common one is you are employed, but you still, because the cost of living is so terrible and the jobs that people are getting are once again not the best jobs, whether that's well-paying and or, you know, something that makes them feel fulfilled in any way. So they still live with their parents. And then you have people that make the dumb financial decision of moving out because they want to go out on their own.
Let me tell this brother something right here. Let me tell this brother something. Ain't nothing guaranteed in this life but a casket. I keep hearing on these videos people saying I did the right things. You did what they told you was right, the epitome of what you thought was right. Although they knew deep down inside these were not the right things to do. These were the right things to make them rich off of their systems and their institutions. That's why they told you that. These were never the right routes to take. Not in our lifetime. We talking to the younger people now. We talking about millennials on down. No. It's been a broken system. It's been a system that's been collapsing. It's been a slow decline, a slow collapse. Right? And they've been milking everybody. Everybody was sold a dream. The American dream looked good on paper, but it's inaccessible for millennials on down. That's just the honest truth, man. I always will look at people and I say, man, I feel bad for them because they don't know. And they're listening to their teachers, thinking they got their best interest in their best, it's like they're teaching them something that's right when they're teaching them how to be programmed and leading them to the slaughter for real. And that's what's happening with everybody now. Everybody that went, for instance, the last time I checked, it was maybe a year ago. 56% of people that went to college regretted it. It's probably at 60, 70% by now, if not higher, right? So people are waking up from the illusion that that was the right thing to do, when deep down inside, they know that they were lied to. So now you have a whole country full of people that were sold this dream, they believed it, and they're waking up from that dream right now.